Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video is being seen and shared. Saloon Driver once again, bringing you another unboxing and review of a watch that was loaned into the channel. This is another one of those Toro watches from the Random Rob group. Discord group, I should say. If you're not familiar with the concept of a Toro watch, very briefly, it's a watch that is circulated among a group of people. Well, it could be a watch, could be a knife, it could be, it could be anything really, but in this case, it's a watch. The watch is shipped around to this group of people. Individual gets to play with the watch for a few days, then ships it on to the next person until the tour is over, in which case it goes back to its origin point. In this case, that would be Random Rob himself. This watch was loaned into him by Serge, which is the name of the watch company. And the tour is among about a dozen members of his Discord group. I'll leave a link to both Serge and Random Rob's YouTube channel so you can get more information about the watch and about Random Rob and his Discord group. This watch is a very interesting micro brand watch. Definitely an unusual watch, as you are probably already seen from the thumbnail. Very nice box. The boxes are oak, and they are made, according to the website, they're all made individually, personally, by the owner of the company himself. Now, Serge originally started out as a knife company owned by a gentleman named Serge Penchenko, and he decided that he wanted to get into watches as well. This is his first attempt at that. Very interesting kind of I'm not sure what material that is. It feels like wood, probably is. A little soft liner to protect the contents, and inside the box, in their individual cubby holes, well, probably turn it that way, is the watch itself, which we'll get to in a minute, and you also get some tools, which is something that other micro brands have done from time to time. A lot of them don't do it anymore. You get a screwdriver specifically for the watch, and I used this to size the watch. I'll get to that in a minute too, because I ran into a bit of a complication there. It's a good quality screwdriver. It's not Bergeron level quality, but it does pretty well. And you also get a sort of a rudimentary, put that back, sort of a rudimentary looking spring bar tool kind of thing. I actually found it very useful for poking the screws out of the bracelet, since they didn't come out very far for you to grab with your fingers. And in here, and obviously there are some leftover links that you can stick down there, and but inside the main compartment, of course, is the Serge Model 1, which is the watch itself. Very, very unusual looking watch, and not just the obvious square watch case, but a few other things too. It is very nice, automatic, definitely a tool watch. Definitely a good, like a field watch perhaps, or an explorer's watch. Something that you could wear in the great outdoors. Go camping with it, go hiking with it, all kinds of things. And it's a very tough looking watch, and just Very interesting finish. That was the other thing I wanted to mention, other than the square case and everything. And it's the finish. It has sort of a pardon me, a crinkle cut look. I associate this type of finish mostly from the automotive world, where there's a crinkle finish technique that a lot of people put on their engine parts, for example. Has sort of that same textural look to it. It doesn't feel textured, obviously. It actually feels very smooth and very refined, but it has that textured look to it. Looks like it's been hewn out of a piece of metal with tools. And it's just a very, very interesting looking watch. The bracelet has a clamshell fold over, double push button unlock, 3 micro adjusters, and it looks like this screw is coming out of its hole, right? Well, it's not. I tried to drive that thing in with a screwdriver. In fact, I tried it with this screwdriver. I tried it with one of my own of better quality. That screw won't budge. And in fact, it chewed itself up pretty good. So this screw is sort of stuck there. And here's the bad part. The screw is sticking out so far so that if I put this on, now for me, I would put the micro adjust in the middle hole. If you do, this thing won't flex up out of the way and therefore it won't close. So with this screw sticking up, you can't use the micro adjuster, which I find to be irritating. And of course, the screw on the other side here is also sticking up and also won't go down any further. So a bit of a design flaw, maybe, or maybe it's just this particular watch had, it was screwed up. Pardon the pun. But I did wear it for a bit while I had it. Obviously, it's way too loose without that micro adjuster working properly. If I take another link out of it, it's too tight and unwearable. So I didn't wear the watch very long, but I wore it enough to get a good impression of. It's a very comfortable watch. Obviously, it's a very it fits my 7¼ inch wrist very nicely. It doesn't have a lot of lug to it. I mean, the lugs are the case in this case. So it does not overhang very much. It really works very nicely. It's a very wearable watch. It would be even more wearable if it had a proper, the bracelet was properly assembled. But that may be, I don't know if that affects the other Serge watches, and it's a problem with the design of the bracelet, or this particular watch had a bad set of screws. But that didn't, it took away a little bit of the wearability of it, and therefore the fun of wearing it. But it is what it is. You got a screw down crown, very nice knurling. It is a signed crown, as you can see. It does pop very audibly and very tactful pop. There is no single position, there is no dual position on. It's just one pull, and it does hack the movement. So there's no ghost date here. So it's just one pull gets you to the time setting and hacks the movement. It does screw down again, very positive engagement, very easy to re-engage the threads and get your water resistance back. Very interesting watch. Now, there are going to be 5 versions of this watch, 5 colorways, if you will. The case are all the same. This is the blue, of course. I mean, it's obvious. There's also going to be a black dial, orange dial, a red dial, and a gray dial. So 5 different colorways for you to choose from. You can see those on the website. I'll leave, of course, as I said, I will leave a link to the website, which not only covers the watches, but also all the different knife options, offerings that they have. I have my sheet of facts here, so I can give you all the pertinent information about this watch. It is the Serge Model 1. I mean, it is their first model, so may not be a very original name, but it is an apt name. Obviously, this is not really a diameter case. It's a square-ish. It's 42 millimeters wide, 46 millimeters tall, which also happens to be the lug-to-lug, and 13 millimeters thick to a flat crystal. 22 millimeter lug width. It has drilled lugs, so you can get to the spring bars with a spring bar tool. Actually, probably this spring bar tool. And if you wanted to, you could put this thing on a rubber strap or a NATO, or, get rid of the metal strap if you can't size it properly. 200-meter water resistance. So this is a very swimmable watch. I mean, you could dive with it. Unfortunately, it's not a dive watch. It doesn't have a dive bezel. But since a lot of divers nowadays use dive computers, a dive watch at this in this day and time is almost superfluous and not needed. So you could put this on your wrist as a backup. Not a very good backup because no dive bezel, as I said, but it would work in terms of water resistance, 200 meters. The whole thing is 316L stainless steel. It's 316L case, 316L bracelet. You get a sapphire crystal. And it is inside here. It is a Miyota 9039 movement underneath that screw down case back. So, typical of the micro brands, they concentrate on the design and the amenities of the watch, and they leave the movement to the experts. Seiko, Miyota, Sellita, Seagull, what have you, Ronda, in some cases. Although Rondas are fairly expensive, if I remember correctly. So it's going to be a very easy watch to service. It's going to be very accurate, and as I say, it's going to be a tough movement. It'll do very well. The design, according to their website, is a very 60s and 70s inspired design. Having lived through the 70s myself, I can confirm that. And of course, with the watch, you get the very nice packaging with the screwdriver and the spring bar tool and the very nice custom case. So I mean, it is really a neat looking watch. It's not to my personal aesthetic. I mean, I did wear the watch for a bit, despite the fact that it didn't fit very well. I've been over that. But it was a nice watch to look at. It was very interesting. If you're kind of person who wants to wear an unusual watch and garner some attention, I've had people point at it and say, "Ooh, what's that?" That kind of thing. And this Serge Model 1 is going to be your watch. I'm not a big fan of square watches, but that's just me. But, if I was in the market for this kind of watch, this would definitely be on my radar. It's a very interesting watch. It's a very good watch for what it is, and it does the job. So I suspect that Serge will do very well selling these alongside of his very interesting looking knife offerings. So I hope you found this video to be entertaining and useful and informative. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Clicking that thumbs up does help the channel grow. It does help with YouTube search algorithms, so that always helps. Comments, questions, and suggestions down below. I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you are going to be a nasty little troll, you're going to insult me, you're going to insult my channel, you're going to insult my subscribers, or you're going to leave links to dangerous places on the dark web, I'll just delete the comment and block the commenter, as I always do. If you're new to the channel, of course, welcome. I'm certainly glad you're here. I'm glad you found the place. Feel free to watch as many videos as you like. All I ask in return is that before you leave, you click the subscribe button on your way out. Don't forget to click the bell icon so that when I upload new videos, you will be alerted. And when I do live streams, which I do every Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, or when time and opportunity avail themselves to me, you'll be alerted to those too. Meanwhile, please be careful out there. It is a dangerous old world. Be safe, be healthy, be well. I'll see you soon.